Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of my fishing adventures. You join me here. You might be able to just see over my shoulder. I've just arrived at Norton Disney, so I'm just in the overflow car park at the moment, so I can film this. So I'm up here for 6 nights. It's kind of split up into three sections, really. So the first 48 hours will be on Turner's. I'm here for a brain tumour charity do on there. The next 48 hours after that, so that's Wednesday to Friday, I'm kind of free to do whatever I like. So if Turner's is fishing well and I draw well, I may stay on there for another couple of days. And then finally, Friday to Sunday, it's over to Pettitts. Can't get on there any earlier, unfortunately, because there's already another social on there for a U-Win competition social. So it's Monday morning. It's a bit drizzly, and there is a weather front coming, so it's looking good for it at the moment. So I'm going to make my way down to the office, see who's here. I'm a little bit early, but I want to go and have a little walk around the lake, see what I can see. There will be some familiar faces on this video at some point. So yeah, keep watching and see who appears. Right, folks, let's have an update. So we've done the swim draws here on Turner's. 14 of us here. I came out number 10, so not ideal at all. Obviously didn't get any of my first choices at all, so I'm in swim number 6. And if I quickly turn the camera around, we can see Bivvy there, rods around here. So what I've got going on here, I've got two straight out, about 18 wraps. There's a little bar out there, straight towards swims 9 and 10 over there. There have been signs of fish here this morning. It's been a bit quieter this afternoon. Left hand rod's a cheeky little solid bag down the side here, because there was some shows close in as well, so got those two areas covered. The wind southwesterly at the moment, I believe. Now it's due to turn tomorrow, and it's gonna blow like mad. So it's gonna blow down the lake, straight down the lake. So this wind will turn and it will blow straight down the lake up to about 40 miles an hour. So I hope those boys down there have got their bivvies tied down good and tight. It might get a bit lively tomorrow. So anyway, the rods are on the dance floor. The swim is looking like a mess, obviously, because we need to sort everything else out now. So I shall leave you with a little look at the lake, and then back later for an evening update. Right, so as I said earlier, I'm in peg 6, so I thought I'd come down and see the guy in peg 5. Evening, mate.
Hello, mate.
How's it going? You got anything?
I haven't had anything, but just seen a few fish start moving down. There's one
Yeah,
just
okay,
showed
I'm
there.
not interested. Okay, let's go. Yeah, okay, good, well done, mate. Nice one. Who's he think he is? Bloody Tom Dove? Well, good morning, everybody. It's 7 o'clock on Tuesday now. Got some good news. I've got some bad news. So let's have a recap from yesterday. So I put them out again last night. Let's spin the camera around. I'm sure you want to look at the lake rather than looking up. Right, what we've got over here, you can see these two tall trees in the distance. So immediately below there is pegs 9 and 10. So obviously you've got these two tall trees. So all three of my rods are within those two trees. So fairly tight, 18 and a quarter wraps. It just raises up from about 17 foot up to about 15 foot. This is not really where I want it to be in the lake, but you have to make do when you have a draw that doesn't go your way. So I found some slightly shallower water. And I found a bit of soft stuff on top of that hump, so I'm fishing at 3 as close and on that soft stuff as I can. So rod tips down there, all pointing out the same direction. So that's what happened last night. These little treasures the white devils, we shall call them, have kept me up pretty much most of the night. As you can see, they're coming really close into the bank, and just running over my rod tips all the time. I had one at 1:15 this morning take the right hand rod. I've got snag ears on, and it pulled it over the other two rods. It was 1:15. It was pitch black. I could see my two skylines, but I wasn't confident of recasting three rods at that time of the night. So if it had been one and it had been an outside rod, I might have had a go. So all I could do in that situation, I had two choices: either to reel in, which I didn't really want to do, or I could have just retightened the lines up and sat on them, and that's what I did. Hour later, the middle one rattles up. So played that one, got that one in. That was a cracking fish, 33 pounds 4 ounces. Unfortunately I didn't, and this is the bad news, forgot I had the camera. I know, schoolboy. So I didn't get any film of it, but I do have pictures on the phone. Let me just get me pictures off the phone. So yeah, I wasn't gonna sack her up, which we have been able to do. You can see there a picture of her, 33.4, and that one is a known fish on the embryo site. I think it's fish number 5 on Turner's Lake. So what I've got right in front of me here, I've got a lot of marginal weed, and obviously I didn't want to put a fish in that at night, firstly. Secondly, you can see how close all these swans are. I'm also not going to retain a fish while you've got all these swans and sitting in a place that the fish probably doesn't want to be. So I did the pictures, weighed her up, and sent her on her way last night. So that was last night. I didn't hear too much else happening last night. I know I've got... Obviously, you saw my little jokey post from Mr. Dove, who is fishing just where that tree is. He had a little one when I went down to see him earlier in the afternoon yesterday, so he's had one. But obviously, you can see this wind direction is pushing down, and this wind is just going to grow today. And unsurprisingly, the majority of the fish are down that end, but not all. I can still see the odd show up here. So even though it's going to get windy, they're not all going to be down there. But I know Neil's having a fun time down there. I think he's had 5 or 6 already. But I just spoke to him, and he hadn't had anything last night, so he had a good night's sleep. I was plagued by the white devils. The coffee's on. Drink it before it gets cold. So yeah, so it's to get a 30 out of Turner's is a bit of a touch. There's not a huge amount of 30s in it. There's a lot of fish in here, but there's not a huge amount of 30s. So always happy to get a 30 out of any lake on this complex here. So as I said earlier, the wind is going to build and going to belt down the lake today. So I was up at just on first light, had all 3 back in, rebaited, recast, and did some more spomming. Whilst we're here, let's have a look at the mix. So here we go. Yeah. So this is the spot mix I'm using at the moment. So the majority of it, as you can see, there's a lot of corn. There's flake maize in there. There's a little bit of hemp. There's a little bit of crumb, OG fish boilie, and what else we got? And some flake maize. And the flake maize, what I do with that is I put that in, and then the bucket that's got the sweet corn in, so I tend to add a lot of water to the sweet corn, and then I use a bit of that water just to soften the flake maize, so you've got that sweet corny water sort of going in there. So that's the mix. So this morning redone the rods, probably put about another 7 or 8 spoms out at 8, so I'm for 18 and a quarter straight at the 2 guys over in 9 and 10. I didn't go too much longer because I know this wind is coming.
and I don't want to be fishing. And something just showed on my spot. That was good. And yeah, I don't want to be too long and then struggle to be able to get them out there. So I've gone with because of the wind coming, I've gone with the big kit. So the 13-foot Kaizens. I've got my fluorocarbon on there, so I can get there. If I was fishing any longer than that, I'll probably change the fluorocarbon to a mono. But the fluorocarbon, I can get there okay with that at the moment. So that's kind of where we are today. So we're waiting for for it to get a bit windy. I will. Obviously, I've done that little bit of video with Tom yesterday. I'll pop down and see Neil as well, so we can do a bit with him today, and just to get you into the picture of what we're doing here at Norton Disney and why I'm here with a couple of the quarter boys. So I'm going to carry on drinking my coffee. I feel an afternoon snooze coming already, and it's only 7 o'clock in the morning, but next time I'll catch up with you, run you through the rigs. So if you have a look over there, so that's swim number 8 on Turner's. And if you head over to YouTube, you'll find an underwater. It was filmed, swim number 8 on YouTube. Have I got a shot on the hook? Stay tuned. Right, so let's have a look at the all-important rig that did the bite last night. This one is similar but not identical because the other one is still fishing. Try not to get too much of a reflection if I can help it. So what you can see here, we've got 25-pound kickback from One More Cast, a One More Cast size 4 lock hook. This is the barbed one. It is a barbless venue, so crushing the barbs is allowed here, so I've done that. The mighty immovable blend tungsten putty. I've got a 30mm anti-tangle sleeve on here, crimped in 2 places, under the sleeve and under the putty here. Micro wing swivel. Now on this one you can see here I've got the Magaliner intern and hook bead on there, but actually on the rig that actually did the bite, I've got the Wormaliner, so the purple one. So I do like to put a little blob of putty on. I just want this rig resetting straight. You can see there is a slight kink in this, so I will steam before this goes out again, and crush the barb down, and then just floss a pop up onto the micro ring swivel. So that's about 5 inches, that one, from basically the bottom of that swivel to where it attaches to the lead system, and we'll run through the lead system in a little while. Right, I'm going to try and show you the lead arrangement here. It's a bit difficult in this sunlight, so we'll see what we can do. So I have a 4-ounce arrow lead there, onto a pin lead clip and a tail rubber, and then I've got a bit of the OMC core free that I've spliced all that together. Now the reason I use a pin lead clip, if I could just get that in, so obviously I've got an anti-tangle sleeve that slides on here, so I haven't got a hinge, but when the fish shakes its head once it's hooked, that pin lead, because obviously I haven't got the pin in, so that, see how easily that just falls out of there, and then very quickly we become a running lead. So it's got hooking capability, but then it very quickly turns it into a running rig, which makes it very, very difficult for the fish to deal with. So they can't use the weight of the lead to bounce the hook out, because as soon as they shake their heads, that lead is running away and they can't deal with that. So that's the lead arrangement, and I'm now going to take you through the rigs. Right, so continuing on our walk around the lake, let's have a little look whose swim this is. No, it's not the dogs. Now, see if you can guess what this... no, it's not. I've now been attacked by a dog and what can be described as a flea bit, an old bit of rag. I think Monkey's probably lost his, but it is none other than Mr. Neil Spooner, everybody.
How we doing?
So Neil, just give us a very brief overview of why we're all here today.
We are here for a friend of ours, Clive Williams, whose wife suffered a brain tumour.
and through the brain tumour charity. They've been supporting him, I believe. He also met a young girl, Lizzie, who sadly lost her battle with her brain tumour. So we're here to raise as much money as we possibly can for the brain tumour charity. They can continue their research.
Brilliant. So Neil does like to give back, as so to speak. So when the call comes in that we need to help one of our own, that's what we do. That's what the Fishing Circle does. So big thanks for Neil for taking time out of his hectic schedule. Sorry, I didn't mean hectic schedule. I meant lying on the sofa eating twiglets, watching Coronation Street. So yeah, thanks for doing that, mate. And
That's fine. I've got it on catch up. I can watch it when I get home.
Exactly, bang on. So yeah, massive thanks to him and to the dog, who now thinks I'm a sausage and is going to eat me. And I'll see you all again in a bit.
Just walked into the swim and Dave's in. How do you feel, Dave?
I'd feel better if this was my rod. Mr. Spooner has just gone to the van to get some corn, and off she trot.
And I think
so I threw Monkey on the floor, as is the way. Poor Monkey.
Poor old Tettley Tips Monkey.
Right, morning everyone, and welcome to, as it's today, Wednesday. So the 48 hours for the brain tumour charity is almost up. Spin round, you can see rods are away. Now I'm here till Sunday. So what I am going to do is I'm going to move over to peg number 8. That swim of the recent underwater fame. So I'm going to go and fish there. So I'm in 6. Last night I could hear them and see them sitting behind the wind, and the other bulk of fish is following the wind down that end of the lake. So not really seen or heard much dead in front of me. So I'm moving over to number 8. I'll be there in 48 hours before moving on to Pettitts for the Ewing competition social. So going to get the booby down, last bits and pieces just to pack up, and then we'll be round to swim number 8. So I'll get myself sorted and I'll be back with spots, rigs and lead systems, etc, etc, etc.
So afternoon everybody, so bringing you up to speed. So I've had a move. Last night I saw fish unusually behind the wind, so a bit of a giveaway about what's happened here, but I was fishing over here. I heard fish around here last night, and I've managed to get moved and over into the swim. So I'm actually sitting behind the wind. The wind is pushing down there for the last few days, and I think it's getting a bit stale, so the fish might be on the move. So I whiz round here. I'm fishing 2 out towards the bivvy on 12, 1 down the margin as per the underwater from Gordon. And it hasn't taken very long, and we've got a common. There's some colossal, and some of the biggest fish in this lake are commons. This is not one of the biggest, but I haven't weighed it yet. So rig's just gone back out. Just finished topping the swim up with a couple of extra spots. So we'll now deal with the fish, get that weighed, get that treated, return safely, and on for the next one.
Ready now. Get in, well done, Dave.
Lovely stuff.
Nice little common, Grace, isn't it?
Oh, a big common.
Quite all right.
Oh, sorry, I should say, Bosh, get him on it. So, after a brief interlude for rain, it's all kicking off. So, probably been fishing for take two. Probably you're not happy, are you? You're not happy. So yeah, been fishing for about 2 hours now. So this is fish number 2, right place, right time, and you'll catch them. So 48 hours in one swim, one fish. It was a 30, so I was happy with that. But 2 hours in the right swim, and we're into fish number 2. It's only a little fellow, but boy is he sprightly. Right. You've got yourself all phoned up, you lunatic. Right. Just need to start this. Right, so you're going to behave yourself? I very much doubt it. Only a little one. Haven't bothered weighing him yet. Only a little baby. So make sure the mouth is all good. I'm going to pop him back. Let's have a little wipe anyway. 17.8. Well, what a mad little couple of hours that was. So in this swim, 2 hours, had 2 fish. Not happy with that. Suddenly the wind has died. I can hear rumblings of a thunderstorm. There is a storm about. Hopefully it'll miss me, because I'm just really not wanting to be standing out here waving a carbon lightning conductor around with a thunderstorm about. So I can hear one banging and crashing about. It might be coming in that direction. It might be over there. It's looking a bit ominous over there. So hopefully it'll miss me. So yeah, well, talk about being in the right swim at the right time. So I moved into the swim. Took a while. I was over there, and I don't know, but it took a while. And been here about 3 hours now, but had 2 in 2 hours. One just popped out over the corner. There's definitely fish have got in behind the wind, and this wind has kind of blown itself out now. So I'm definitely hoping for a bit more activity. Doesn't fish particularly well at night, this one. Although I did have the 30 at night, so never say never. So I'd be quite happy with one more before dark, have some dinner, nice relaxation, cheeky glass of red wine, and then see what the night brings. And I shall catch up with you again, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Stay tuned.
This is a public safety film. Don't go fishing in a thunderstorm with some carbon electricity conductors. You'll bloody die, I tell you. And this is a tiny reminder to bring your wet weather gear with you. You'll never know when a tropical storm will hit. Holy moly, what's going on?
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Still on Turner's. It's early o'clock in the morning. Quiet night. Nothing happened last night. Didn't hear anything. Didn't hear the odd fish. Nothing too crazy going on last night. So alarm clock on for 5:30. Woke up. Now the rods went out really nicely last night. Bang on where I wanted them to be. Bang on where I picked up fish. So I've left them. All I've done, and it's a little bit more unusual for me. So all I've done is I've put 8 spoms over the 2 rods. I'm fishing 2 close together and 1 down the margins. So what I've done is I've put 8 spoms over those 2 rods. I don't really feel the need to reel them in and redo them, even though they've not gone all night. They went out lovely. So I think they're still fishing quite well. So I've just topped up. The way I see things in here is the fish move around in packs. Excuse me, needing supercharged coffee this morning. The fish move around in packs, so I've given them a little bit. So 8 spoms is quite a lot, but if I did get a visit last night and I haven't been picked up, then there won't be much bait out there. I certainly haven't been piling it in by any means. So 8 spoms gone out there. I'm going to sit on that for a few hours and ride the morning out through bite time. And see what happens, and then I'll have a refresh probably about 10, 11 o'clock, something like that. So I shall carry on drinking my coffee. Then it will be the porridge. Let's have a look at the lake rather than me slurping my coffee. Looking nice this morning. See, the wind has died. I'm not sure if that's going to affect the fishing, but the wind has died. There's a little tiny bit down the bottom there still, as it is still pushing on the westerly. Sun's just coming up over the horizon, so I should start to feel those warm rays shortly. We had one hell of a storm last night, so hailstones, or ice cubes as it was, a lot of rain, but the water temperature is still really high. Unfortunately, when the rain came, I was cooking my dinner, so I had no option but to zip the door up. So now you can probably see I've got condensation absolutely everywhere. So there's going to be a bit of mopping up to be done in here this morning. And yeah, let's just wait to see if we can nick a few more. Now, Pettitts, which is our social on Pettitts, the Ewing competition social, is due to start tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Now, I had a chat with the bailiff yesterday. Now, Pettitts is closed at the moment and there's nobody fishing it. That's because they are weed raking. So they started yesterday. Now, they reckon they're going to be finished by about, here come the white devils. They're going to be finished. And how many of you are coming to terrorize me this morning? There's normally so don't put your head in there. Don't put your head down there because there's line down there. And don't give me none of your back chat. No, don't do that. Head up. Naughty swan. No. What did I just say? Why you not speak English? Yes, keep your head up. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem, aren't we? Right, and then you see there's more of them over there. There's, I think it's this year's young that have sort of turned white finally, and the old man will want them off the lake shortly, so he'll be terrorising them to clear off. Right, so as the sun comes up, as I say, the weed raking in Pettitts is going to be finished by 3 o'clock today. They have said that if all is well, they will let me on Pettitts tonight, which means another move. Oh, joy of joys. So it means another move today, but one of the reasons I picked this swim is that you can see that white van. Well, my van's next to it, so it's not very clever at all. So I can chuck everything in the van, drive round to Pettitts, reset up there again, and be absolutely knackered by this evening. So we'll see how that pans out, and hopefully we can nick 1 or 2 more out of here before it's time to pack up and move lakes. Catch up with you soon. So a quick update from a blustery Thursday afternoon. So obviously we had a thunderstorm last night, which has absolutely killed it here, sucked the life out of the lake. Oxygen levels probably dropped. As you can see, the wind is now pushing into me, so that's coming from the north, so that's cold. It was raining ice cubes with the hail. So yeah, a combination of events, and it was all led to a point where the lake has kind of gone quiet for a bit while as the rampaging swans tried their best to destroy my bloody rods again. What an idiot! So that's where we are. But on a slightly more positive note, the guys here at Embryo have just said that Pettitts is open for business, and if I want to move over to Pettitts, I already know what swim I'm on the social, so that's that taken care of. I can go tonight, and Neil the chef is sat up there in his car in the car park, and yeah, we're just waiting for this bit of weather at Bush Reef because it's looking a bit moody and there is some rain in there, and I don't want to get everything wet really. So yeah, we're on the move again. So quick 24 hours in here, couple of fish out, happy days. Let's get on to Pettitts. That's where the fish are. That's the main event for this week. And see if I can bag ourselves a nice Pettitts 30 or even a naughty 40. Who knows? Stay tuned. So here we are. It's Friday morning. Nothing to report yesterday. It was a difficult setup in the dark. Trying to cast 25 wraps with fluorocarbon is a bit of a challenge. So I've swapped the reels over today, got back on the mono. Can hit the spots now quite comfortably. So rods are out. Bombing's done. Just tidying everything up. Actually got to charge a few things up, including the GoPro. But more importantly, the U-Wing competitions social has commenced on Pettitts. So we have filled the lake up. But unfortunately, as always, there is an Adam close by. Oh look, there he is. I was really disappointed with how close these two swims are. But it is what it is. I've lost half of my kit already, and he's only been here 2 hours, so that's fairly standard. As you can see, the weather is terrible, but I'm hoping for a bit more cloud cover, which is on the way. I think that the wind is supposed to turn, which it's slowly doing now, but we could do with a lot more of it and a bit of cloud cover. The rods are looking sexy. That's got to be worth a bite, surely. So they're all out on the dance floor. Come on, the big girls. Here is a Saturday lunchtime update. Bugger all has happened. I repeat, bugger all has happened. Right, so since the weed raking that was on here on Wednesday and Thursday, I think it's kind of killed this a bit. As you can see, the wind is blowing probably southwesterly over to that bank over there, which you can't see because I'm in my bivvy. There's been one fish out. So we've got every single peg covered on this lake. 3 rods in there, that's 500,000 rods at least, and there's been one fish out. So it's a bit of a slog, I'm honest. Right, so what's happening now? So let's just slip on my shoes, and I shall leave my temporary detached property with lake view. And what we should see is there in the undergrowth. There is a Neil Rothwell at work. Now, if you don't know who Neil Rothwell is, he's a man that can cook a sausage. So that's what we'll do. Go up here. And there's an idiot's peg in there. I think the fish knew he was coming and have all left. And then if we go up here, we'll be able to see a Neil Rothwell cooking away. The U-Wing competition flags are limp, a bit like their owner. You may hear some music in the background. That's not us. Apparently Elvis isn't dead. He's alive and kicking in the field next door to us. And here we have the most meat you'll ever see. Apart from when I've got my shorts on. So yeah, there's the guys are going to be making their way round the lake shortly. There may even be a lesser spotty Richie McDonald come. He is partial to a piece of chicken, a freebie. So yeah, so I'm going to go back and make myself beautiful, which will take about 6 months, and come back for a sausage and a bit of chicken. And as previously mentioned, there are no fish in this lake. Goodbye. Hi, good morning, everybody. And it's been a bit of a disaster, really. So yesterday afternoon, my right hand rod ripped off. Now I'm fishing on a plateau out there. The fish dived off to the side into the weed. So I made my way up the bank, managed to get her free of the weeds, but then the hook pulled. So that was annoying. They went out really nicely at 6 o'clock last night. A few spawns over the top, and then 10 o'clock my right hand rod went. Now, obviously dark at that time. The moon was out, so it was nice and bright. Didn't really need a head torch, but then the clouds rolled in as I was playing the fish and covered the moon, so I had to go back and reach into bivvy for my head torch. But unfortunately, in doing so, I've just slackened off the line inadvertently, and that was enough, and the fish has gone. So I've had my chances, but I've lost them both. Still got about 3 hours to go, but yeah, it doesn't feel like although one has just topped, but really long of me over by Steve, who's had a couple over there. So it's just myself and Steve over in peg number 1. Adam next door did have one last night, 24 pounds. So yeah, it's been tough. But when the chances have come along, I've just not maximised them. So start to pack up and make the long trip home, and see you all again soon sometime.